Okay, check it. The scene kicks off with Fabio chatting with his boss, Don Luis, the head of the cartel, stating that he wants out of the group, but the boss, for some reason, accepted his resignation. But he ain't that stupid, and he wasn't born yesterday either. As a matter of fact, y'all, you gotta understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Once you're in the gang, mafia, cartel, whatever gang you could possibly think of in your head, you are in there for life. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no escaping it. Maxed out contract. Thank God I'm grateful for my life not being in one. So he hugs his boss, thinking he has left the gang and live a better life with his family, but oh boy, he was so desperately wrong. As Fabio leaves the area, the boss leader was like, kill his whole family, leave no one alive. So Fabio heads back home and his family are ready to live a better life and leave the country of Colombia. He then gives her a microchip and writes down an address somewhere in Chicago, telling her if anything happens or if anything goes left, go to that address. He then gives her his necklace, the Cataleya flower, and he hugs her. But all of a sudden, when they were about to leave, cars start pulling up from the front and back, making sure they don't escape. They pulled up so faster than Nina Lynn starting problems with people and taking no accountability.
He ain't lying.
And they start shooting at Fabio's guards, and in all honesty, these are the worst guards I have ever seen in my fucking life, bro. Like, did y'all have any Spider-Man senses and not shoot one bullet? Fabio's wife grabs a rifle and a shotgun like they Ed and Lorraine Warner if they were elite mercenaries and gave up capturing spirits, and Fabio tells his daughter, never forget where you came from, and they head downstairs and start letting shots fly. And while that's happening, Cataleya can hear everything from upstairs. Her mom comes upstairs and gets shot directly in the back. Then Fabio gets clipped right directly in the chest. So after packing up her parents, Marco, the right-hand man of Don Luis, pulls up explaining to her why they had to kill her parents. And look at her face, bro. She is just sitting there quietly. That's me when I have to hear other people's bullshit. Like, do I look like I give a damn of the problems you deal with? Welcome to the real world. Marco asks her if she has the microchip and she nods yes, but as soon as he sticks out his hand, she pulls a knife and stabs him right through the hand. And she was like, you think I was born yesterday, fuck nigga? She takes off, jumps out the window and swallows the chip. And look at this idiot right here emptying the whole clip on her. Like, bruh.
You see that? That's a stupid bitch.
She starts going through multiple houses and they were chasing her down like they were playing hide and seek. She then hides in this container thing. I don't know what the fuck this is, to be honest with you. And she loses them for now because the cartel catch up to her, and right before they were about to grab her, she slides down the drain and she was out of there.
Tic-tac-toe in your face.
And I know Don Luis is gonna be mad as hell like these.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
So later on, Cataleya pops up on some random street and heads over to the embassy. She hands over the US embassy card and she had information for them. She throws up the chip on the desk, they plug it in the computer, and everything was on there. The members of the cartel, transfers, business, finances, all of it. She got her passport placed on a private jet. She living the good life for this. But as soon as she arrives in America, the CIA were on her tail like ground beef on rice. She went to use the bathroom and just like that, she was out of there. She then hops on a bus heading to Chicago to the address her father gave her before he died. When she arrived, she sees her uncle smacking the piss off, bro. And I was thinking in my head like,
and I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
He continues to beat the brakes off, bro, and he wasn't having it until his crewmate mentioned Catalina, and he ultimately stops. And when he sees Catalina for the first time, he thought in his head she didn't make it. And to make it even worse, word got out that his entire family, including his brother, were killed. So she lives with her uncle, and while they're having breakfast, Tio is talking to her like how every parent talks to them about how they're feeling, you doing alright, all that mumbo jumbo. So the next day, Uncle tried to enroll her into school, but but they denied her because school was happening mid-semester. But once the teacher saw the dough in the envelope, she got enrolled immediately. And we know, as God is my witness, the government don't be paying these teachers nowadays. Give them a raise immediately. But Cataleya, on the other hand, wasn't feeling it at all. The only thing on her mind is revenge and justice for her parents. So they step outside and chat for a while, and Tio pulls out the strap and shoots at this random car. God, whoever car that is better have car insurance. And he told her, you gotta understand how the world works, blah blah blah. So he gave her a choice: the gun or the school bag. Basically, pick your poison. And to no surprise, she chose the bag. So fast forward 15 years later, while these officers are about to have a mukbang vlog, but all of a sudden, boom, they get T-boned and the girl gets out. And by the look of her necklace, it was no secret that it was Cataleya. She got arrested and thrown into the slammer. The amount of charges she got on her head is ridiculous. So a couple hours passed. The marshals brought in Gennaro Rizzo, one of Don Luis' top tier right hand man. And when he got put in the slammer, Cataleya wakes up. I guess being intoxicated was a complete fake out. She takes off the wig, suits up, and picks the door lock by her hairpin. She starts instigating the jail, fills up a cup of water, enters the electrical room, and sets up a spoon as a timer. 10 seconds later, the fan shuts off and she goes through it. She gets out the vent, and right when this guard was about to take a leak, he gets knocked out for his troubles. She uses him to get back in the cell, steals the pistol, and confronts Rizzo. She tells him to unbutton his shirt, and she shoots 3 bullets in him. Pause. The alarm goes off, officers run in, and the guard got framed for killing Gennaro. Cataleya goes to the roof. The prison was placed on lockdown, and she was back in her cell sleeping like she didn't just caught a body like 10 seconds ago.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
So a couple days passed after spending some jail time. She calls Amelia and told her the job is done. She then goes to her apartment, takes a shower, wipes off all of her guns as if nothing happened, and when nighttime hits, she goes off to meet up with her sneaky link. Not gonna lie, having Zoe Saldana as your sneaky link, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I respect that for real. And I know y'all were hitting the classic SpongeBob meme.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I 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 need it!
So later on, Tio meets up with Cataleya in the laundromat, and her next target is this Chris Griven looking motherfucker who stole dozens of cash and disappeared. And Tio noticed something else of her leaving tags of her victims, but she doesn't give a damn. She was sending Don Luis a message, and she's out for blood. And I don't even blame her for real. She is out for vengeance on the man and the group that wiped out her whole family. This is personal and also justifiable. So later on, after getting her next assignment, she flies over to the Caribbean, and this nigga is enjoying himself. Room full of models, and look at that big old beer belly and the smile too. He really living the best life right now. So more guards pull up to the mansion, and Cataleya rolls under the van. She then swims in the pool with sharks. Not surprised they didn't eat her, like how Rock Wave didn't eat any healthy food. Gets out and puts the silencer on the gun and lets a gunshot out, and Chris wakes up with writing on his body. You can tell by the look of his face, he's next on the list to get slimed out. He tours around the area only to see his guards laid out like they hit in the Caleb City pose. He picks up some guns, and he sees the Cataleya flower, and he hears, "Turn around." Yeah, by the look at his face, he knew he was done for. He tried to shoot her, but there were no bullets in the gun, and she was like,
"There's no way out of this one. You're done."
She shoots bro in the kneecap, giving him the D-Rose type knees, and shoots him in the chest and drops to the pool. And let's just say the sharks had a good meal eating him apart. So later on, she flies back to the US to be with her sneaky link and trying to go into her freaky mode. And y'all should know how they get on timing, fellas. If you know, you know. But he wants to know more about her, but she doesn't tell him anything, and he thinks her actual name is Jennifer, which is Cap. So fast forward, she heads to the library, and Uncle Tio is livid that the tags Cataleya leaves behind after killing them are on the news, and word got out that one of Tio's friends got assassinated by the cartel. But Cataleya, on the other hand, still doesn't care. So Tio told her she's fired and don't come by the house. And just like that, she was all alone. again. So later on, the SWAT team invaded Cataleya's apartment because her sneaky link sent the photo to someone who works in the police station, and they run the photo through the system, and boom, it matches the exact way when she got arrested and booked earlier. She grabs her gun, runs downstairs, and breaks into someone's apartment and ambushes him. My guy can't even enjoy his normal life in peace. She goes to the bathroom, grabs the sniper, and the minute the SWAT team blows up her door, she blows up the bathroom wall. She was one step ahead of them. She zips straight down, cuts through vents, and makes it out through the station. She heads over to Amelia's house, and all she sees is bodies everywhere. Grandma gone, and her uncle strapped to the chair being tortured to death. The tags her uncle warned her about came and bite her in the ass, and she should have listened, and now look, she has no family once again, and that right there was the final straw for every member in the cartel, and that included Don Luis. So after this, she heads over to Agent Ross's house and told him, "You're gonna help me find Don Luis," which, to no surprise, the CIA was protecting the cartel the whole time. She picks up a family photo and told him, "If you don't help me find Don Luis, you will be at a funeral for every family member you love dearly." And to make it a fair deal to help her find Don Luis, she informed them that he was sitting on a bomb and starts the microwave to make sure he doesn't get up when the timer hits 0, and she just walks off. So later on, Catalina heads over to the garage, straps up all the guns, loads up everything, and hops on this ambulance truck. She heads over to the architect, the man who created Don Luis mansion, who knows every location an escape is at, and that is what she was after, how to make sure her target doesn't escape. She pulled the blicky on him because he didn't want to comply. I guess having nice manners don't work these days, especially when you're out for blood, huh?
No.
So the cartel is game planning on how to protect Don Luis because they knew she's coming. But out of nowhere, Catalina fires a damn RPG right through the crib. Nah, bro, no more playing nice out here. Everybody started running and tried to escape, only to get squashed by the ambulance truck, and she light their ass up like a Christmas tree. Marco hides Luis behind the secret walls, and look at his face, bro. He is terrified that he's gonna get sent to an O.J. Simpson meet and greet. The cartel split up looking for her, and nah, bro, she made sure she knows the mansion better than them because she sneak attacked them underneath the house, and they think they got her, but all of this was a trap because Cataleya lighted them up, every cartel member, and packed them up with no hesitation. She didn't get to boxing with Marco, and for no hesitation, she shanks him in the throat with a piece of the gun, and he was done for in the blink of an eye, and there was no one left to protect Luis now. So Luis decided to book it, gets out of the wall, hops on the van, and drives out, not knowing there were two big ass pit bull dogs in the back of the van, and Cataleya was thinking in her head like,
You know you done fucked up, right?
So Don Luis' phone rang and he answered, and all Cataleya said was, "Eat." And the pit bulls feasted on his sorry ass. It was so damn bad the cameraman decided not to show it. That right there is possibly one of the worst ways to ever go out, and me personally, this is by far one of the most justifiable revenge moments in movie history, hands down.
That's gangster. That's gangster.